Now to a 12 News exclusive. The state's top judge in Superior Court is stepping down.
Target 12 investigator Tim White sat down one-on-one with Presiding Justice Gibney to talk about her time on the bench, including when she signed the search warrant for the home of serial killer Craig Price. Tim is here now with his preview.
In the hypercharged environment that is 2025, courts have seen an uptick in threats against judges. Presiding Justice Gibney has seen a lot in more than 4 decades on the bench, and she tells me while the risk is mounting, it's not new.
How concerned are you about judicial safety in this moment and overall about the climate that we're in right now?
I remember sentencing someone. In fact, I was pregnant, so it was 40 years ago. And I remember getting a letter from him, and he was at the prison. And he was asking for me. And he asked about my son. So not only did he know I'd had the baby, he knew it was a boy, and he knew his name was Nick. You can imagine that's seared in my memory. I've had police protection on 2 or 3 occasions. Most recently this past winter. It wasn't the result of a criminal case, but it was the result of someone who was very troubled and who knew me from my past. But that would be illustrative of something we now deal with, and that's mental health or lack of mental health. It's not unusual, and it's a cause for daily concern.
As a Superior Court judge, Gibney signed the search warrants for the home of Craig Price, the notorious serial killer who took the lives of 4 people, including 2 young children.
I remember getting another call from Captain Carter, also in the middle of the night. And I can remember he was weeping on the phone. I remember that because he told me that they'd found the perpetrator and he was 15. And I can remember hanging up the phone, and I woke my husband and I said, he's 15. In our neighborhood, the grammar school in our neighborhood was the grammar school that Craig Price attended. So a number of our friends' children were in his class when he was in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. And he was always the class clown. And they were totally unaccepting of the possibility that this could be him. Absolutely not accepting. And of course, I'm thinking, if you only knew.
Gibney's last day as presiding justice is Friday. I covered a lot of ground with the judge, including her advice to Governor Dan McKee on picking her replacement. My full interview airs this weekend on Newsmakers. Tim White, 12 News.